Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to decode and one of the great topic, which is more over into the IDS and IPS, right? Which is something which is also called as detect and alert, detect and block, right? So what is it? And I'm going to uh, simplify it in a simple terms or simple words so that you can understand it better, so that whenever you are going to discuss it or you wanted to provide any solutions or you wanted to simply give any information, right? That's very important to show you, or not only show you, but whenever you are discussing the same topic with the different people around you or your team or people whoever is going to work with you, be it security people, be it any people across the organization, across the team or anything, right? And this topic is something which is really be important for any organizations who have their own products and services, and not only for those, but also the companies which are having their own solutions that they are building, providing to their customers, partners, and anyone, right? So basically, this is going to be for everyone. There is no something like this is for me or not me, right? So let's decode it. What is it? So what is IDS, right? So IDS is something like it's going to be a security camera, which is going to be residing in the premises, be it a corporate office or society or anywhere, right? So that camera is going to keep watching what's happening, and then it's going to capture all the moments, right? Who is coming, who is going out, who is doing what activities across the society or across the uh, applications or office basically, right? And the other hand, IPS, which is going to be a person or something like a security guard at the main door or main gate, right? They are going to check each and every inside traffic as well as outgoing traffic, right? And if the traffic is valid, then only they will let you, or whoever is going to try to come in, then only they will be able to come. Otherwise, it is going to prevent, right? So, in simple terms, IDS is something a security camera. It's going to watch everything and then alert to the respective teams or respective group of people. And the IPS, which is Intrusion Prevention System, right, which is going to be a security guard. It does not just watch; it also blocks the intruders in the real time across the system, right? So that's the simple terms language, right? And as I mentioned, in short, how you can understand and keep in mind, which is IDS equals to detect and alerts. It's going to only detect and alert. It's not going to prevent and stop and block. But IPS is going to be detecting as well as blocking, and it is going to kind of firewalling at the main gate, right? Or at the main port, wherever it is going to be coming in, right? So that way it is going to be blocking it in simple terms, right? So let's jump on to the PowerPoint presentation where I'll walk you through with a real world example as well. And that's going to be easy to understand more on this topic. All right, so let me share my screen. I think let me put that in the presentation mode. All right. All right. So these are the two topics with understanding examples and real world analogy, because that's when you will understand what are the capabilities and what are these two topics, right? So there are multiple service providers who do provide such kind of capabilities or devices and services for the businesses, for the companies, and anyone who wanted to use those for their products, services, and for the business overall, right? So let's jump on and understand what is IDS and IPS one by one. So what is IDS, which is Intrusion Detection System, right? So IDS is kind of monitoring system that is going to detect all the suspicious activities and policy violations that is configured in the respective system, right? And is going to provide alerting and logs, but it does not have capability to block any of those attacks or any of those violations, be it suspicious activities or policies or anything that is going to happen, right? For example, to understand it better, detecting port scanning attempts, right? Which is trying to simply scan port or trying to infiltrate or exfiltrate, something like that. And simple analogy, you can see a kind of CCTV alarm system which alerts you but does not stop any intruder, right? CCTV has only the capability, it can capture the movements, it can capture any thing that is happening across the on premises or footprint or wherever the IDS system is deployed, is going to only detect, but it does not have any capability to prevent anything of that sort, right? So this is the IDS in short. And to understand more and better, I have put the simple example so that you know and you can understand how IDS actually works, right? And why it is important. It is important to make sure whatever the systems we have deployed across the organization, we wanted to get the alerts and logs and notifications of any of those suspicious attack activities as well as violations of the organization policies and configurations and everything together, so that we are going to take proactive steps instead of working on a reactive steps or methods, right? Then that is why we have IDS system over here. The next one is IPS. What is IPS? Intrusion Prevention System. Now, what it does, right? This is totally opposite to IDS, right? It has a capability to block all those suspicious activities as well as going to prevent all those policy violations and everything. So you can see that it sits in line with network traffic to block threats in real time, right? Because it has a capability to analyze, detect, and block it then and there. It is not going to let anyone into the system which is going to be suspicious, which is going to do unwanted activities, which is really not expected at all. For example, which is going to block SQL injection attempts before reaching to the database, right? That's in a technical example, but if you are understanding or if you want to try to understand, so this is how you can understand. As I mentioned, there's a security a guard sitting on the main gate of the office, right? They are not going to let anyone into the system or into the premises, right? Because of they are unknown or they are someone, they are not belong to the organization. They are someone, they shouldn't be here at all, and that is why they are simply stopping them and they are not going to let them in, right? So simple example you can see over here as well, right? They are going to identify and stop it, and they will do the all the verifications whether that is the right person whom they are going to meet, what's the work, what or wherever they wanted to visit and why and what's the purpose and all of that stuff, right? So that is how it is going to be simple and straightforward to understand, right? And that is why IPS is also very important in this case. So IDS and IPS, these both works together hand in hand if we deploy and implement them correctly, appropriately. And if we wanted to deploy only IPS, that is also possible. But in many cases, if we don't get the real-time monitoring activities and if we don't get what is happening across the network and workloads and systems, right, then it is not going to be giving us the visibility of all of those kind of activities, right? And but in IPS, we get everything in terms of blocking and stopping, and everything is going to be verified and validated, and then taken the actions upon validation, right? So that's how it is going to be. So you understand the difference between both IDS and IPS, and basis on that, you can understand each of them better, right? So let's look at some of the real-time examples or differences basically. So here's the difference. You can see on the feature wise, IDS on detection, IPS on prevention. So on the action side, which monitors, logs, alerts, and IPS is going to monitor plus it blocks both. It has both capabilities on the placements, which is out of band, which is a side of traffic. Inline is going to be inside traffic path, right? So what does this mean is that inline means it is going to be put into the or corporate network, right? And then it's going to check what is in and out, and then going to take the appropriate actions. But out of band is going to be something sitting outside the network, within the same network, but outside the estate of a corporate. For example, the databases or applications, or in the simple terms, the premises. For example, there's a building and the camera is sitting on the main gate or on the main door of the building, right? And it is going to capture all the movements, who is coming, who is going, and everything, right? The simple analogy: CCTV and alarm systems, and IPS on the security guard, right? To understand it better. And the risk does not stop any attacks on the IDS, but on the IPS may block legitimate traffic, which is going to be false positives in many cases, because there are certain applications or IPs and everything, and those might be blocked depend on different signatures as well as algorithms of that respective system, right? So that's how it is going to be. All right. So this is how it is going to be working between IDS and IPS. So this is a key differences that I have put together to understand it better on each of these topics, basically. The next is, let's say, real world use case for the companies or businesses, basically, right? How you can understand it better. So, for example, e-commerce company, they do put and deploy IDS, which is going to monitor unusual login attempts, which is going to notify and alert SOC teams. And IPS blocks DDoS attacks, malware payloads, and SQL injections across the business applications and systems together, right? So you can see the simple IDS equal to early warning systems, which is going to be a proactive approach to be able to identify and get to notify what is happening across the systems, and then we would be getting appropriate details to be able to take the actions on those situations, right? And the IPS is going to be kind of active shield, which is going to simply take the actions to block all of them at the particular location instead of hitting that to the respective system. For example, SQL injection, or blocking or not taking actions appropriately so that it might hit any system which is critical for the business, right? So something like application, right? If application does not have appropriate setup configured, then it is going to simply be uh, open for bad actors to hit, and they might hijack the whole system, right? So that is why these are the two capabilities which works in hand with each other, and they are going to be helpful on different situations and scenarios. So this was the one of the real world use case scenario, and it also applies to many scenarios in the organizations for any organization, be it product based company, service based, or anyone, right? Because they do have their own products or end services, right? And they wanted to provide capabilities and everything together, right? So that's why it is going to be helpful. Again, you can see the simple analogy with the home security example. IDS is going to be CCTV camera plus alarms, which is going to simply detect and alert to the people who is going to sitting either in the security room or security gate. And then on the security gate, security guard will stop intruders immediately, and they will stop them and not to come, or they will not allow them to enter into the building itself, right? That's how it is going to be stopped in a simple terms. So together with IDS and IPS, it's going to be complete security package or complete security for the organization as well as for anyone in simple terms, basically. So this is the simple analogy of that one. And at the last lab demo for learners, how you can go ahead and do that. So I have mentioned steps here. Also, if you wanted to learn more on this one on the deep level, definitely there are resources available on internet, as well as there are so many different articles and blogs available across these topics, as well as there are different companies who do provide IDS and IPS services. So you can also learn and understand of their features, their capabilities, what they do, how they work, and everything together. So in short, I have put steps here to install Snort in IDS mode and run port scanning, and then show logs, so which is going to show the logs, and then it is going to show you how it is working, how it is scanning the ports, and what is happening there basically. And switch to IPS mode and run scan again and show blocked traffic. So it's going to show that as well in the device basically. So in short, hands-on demo is going to make a difference on your understanding and how you can learn better, how you can make sure you get the complete details right and not a kind of half knowledge, right? So that's also important in order to learn and be expert on the area or the skills that is very important in this scenario, right? So, yeah, that is what I wanted to show you and talk about. And hope you learned something new. Hope you'll explore more on this and hope you'll keep learning and exploring on this topic. And let me know if you have any questions, any doubts, anything that you wanted to cover on any another video, right? And don't forget to like this video, share it to their friends and people around you so that they can also learn about it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well so that you get to see every new video whenever it is uploaded on the channel. So, yep, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching and bye for now.